up, peeps? How y'all doing? Good.
Cacy, you get the top draft pick second year in a row.
That's a good thing.
I want to ask you about Kancey. Just where you think he fits in, how he can help you.
First of all, let me reiterate on that first part you're talking about. Usually the worst coach get the best picks. That's usually the way. No. Say it again, I'm sorry.
Just Kancey and how he fits in, what you like about him, and where he fits into the top rotation you have.
Well, you were talking about a guy that, when we evaluated him, was really, really explosive. That's what we thought. You know, in the past couple of years, we've been really big and powerful. Now we wanted to tweak and add some quickness and more explosiveness, because a lot of the ways we set our front, we create a lot of valuable matchups for certain people to bar. We play a lot of bare front, which is only so many ways to protect it. We put Vita certain places, so many ways to protect it. So we just really look into more explosiveness and quickness.
What does that do for, like, where does Logan fall down there?
Well, see, now, before in the past, we played like 4 and 3 left and right, this and that. Now with these different pieces we got, now Logan can be in one position all the time and don't have to go all over. Then Kancey can be in one position all the time. Vita can be in that way. We've been playing musical chairs in a lot of ways.
Do you see Logan as more taking over kind of like Will Golston's responsibilities on this team? He's got the size, got the, compared to him coming out.
Very similar measurables. If we look at if those group of guys were in there at that time, we would see Logan playing this role, Kancey playing, and Vita play that role like that. But he is very skill set, very similar to what Will bought for.
And has he bulked up for you guys? Over
Yeah, really. I just talked to him. He's like 296 right now. He's getting bigger and stronger. He's been here every day, so that's we like where he's going.
A lot of these college players, they have a lot of success at the college level because they're just physically more talented than their counterparts on the opposite side of the ball. But obviously in the NFL, a lot more skill is required. So, like, where is Calijah in terms of developing some of those pass rushing skills?
Well, the thing, usually guys that really get sacks in college usually translate into this league for the most part, and there's usually somewhat of a transition period, especially adjusting the way the guards set on you in this league and stuff like that. But with his skill set, we feel that he'll be able to match up. He'll be able to adjust and make the adjustment rather quickly.
Even while being technically undersized?
There's a lot of undersized guys in this league.
Cacy, you guys lost 3 from last year in Hicks and Will and Nacho, and you've essentially replaced them with 2 by Gaines and now Calijah. Is that enough? Can you go with the group you have right now, or does it just mean other people stepping up for you?
Well, with the group we got right now, this is the way we feel like we're proceeding, but we did left open opportunity to possibly bring in more people if we needed to.
Can you talk about Gaines and what he brings to the defense?
You know what? In studying Greg in the offseason, you're talking, and then been having him in the meetings the last couple of weeks, is very intelligent football player, very, very heady, and very versatile knowledgeable from the schematic, because they played some 3-4 principles. So the transition so far has been pretty good.
Can he play like a Hicks level of a lot of snaps via?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Can he play a starter's level of snaps for you?
You know what? We hadn't really talked about that way, and haven't really seen him like that. As far as my vision for him, I see him on the nose, where we had Akeem kind of all over the place. So right now, I just see Greg more in that nose role.
Cacy, Vita garners a lot of attention from the offensive line, understandably so. Does a lot of things for this team. So when an offensive line is double teaming Vita or game planning for him, who benefits the most from Vita getting all that attention? Would it be Kancey in this?
The way we usually play and everything, the guy who gets the most one-on-ones would be the role we see Kancey playing in. When we first got in here, when we bought into the same, he fit in the same role. So it's the same kind of situation where we're gonna try to dictate which way the protection turns and create the one-on-ones for our edge guys here and our interior guy there.
We just talked about Kancey's size. I mean, does that preclude him from being able to play in those goal line situations? Or
No, not at all. But just when a guy right there, you wouldn't want to make a living with him on the center, because there's a lot of bad stuff happening down there. We need to try to keep him away from. We need to try to keep him away from some of that.
You get back to being like a top 5 rush defense, which your guys took a lot of pride in for 2-3 years in a row, and it's gone the wrong way the last year or two. What's your feelings about that?
Well, first of all, that'll be the first thing we address when we come back as a whole, getting ready for mini camp, and have all of them sitting in there. I promise you, that'll be the first thing we address. But a lot of things, I look back at it and evaluating it. First of all, we got to get back to techniques and fundamentals, okay? But then when I looked at it overall with a big scheme of things, a lot of times when your rush defense is really good, your pass defense suffers. This year, our pass defense went up and our rush defense went down. Then I look at it at the people we played. I think we played 6, 8 of the top 10 rushing offenses in there. So now, they get paid too. So you look at it that way. But the thing is, stopping the run gives us a chance to win. So that's the first thing we really want to try to fix going in.
And talking about run defense, when you had the bigger guys, the Golstons, the Sue, the Bay up front, you were kind of building a wall essentially of guys that were hard to move.
Right.
Is a way to kind of get better at run defense, getting some of those tackle for loss with guys like Kancey and Logan Hall are super quick at penetrating?
Well, see, that's the way we really from the time we walked into now, schematically, we really haven't changed. We bring our safety down quite a bit. We pressure, we stunted it. We don't really see that change. But we do want to offset, say, some positive games with more TFL, with quicker guys. And we really felt like we had to get faster on defense. We really did.
On the outside linebackers, just want to ask about Yaya and how he fits in, how quickly he can help you.
Well, when we were looking at his measurables, 6'4" and some change, 260-some pounds, sub 4'5", you see a lot of different roles from, now you're going through the exercise of do we want to play left and right, do we want to play Sam and Will because of the different pieces we got, which is kind of fun exercise to go through because we feel like now we can create some matchups that could be favorable for us.
For Logan going into year 2, is there anything specifically that you want to see from him just to advance his progress?
Well, just make the growth. Now, the beauty about him, I think, talking to the strength coach and everything, been around, he's been here every day, so that's the thing. The growth, just maturity. He was a young player last year and really did, and he stepped in and really, as I looked at it, he did some good things, and probably kudos to me for not putting him out there more. But with some of the people we had more experienced guys, this and that, and I just kept him out, and really hindsight 2020 should have put him there more, but he'll make the jump, and we expect big things from Logan this year.
Here's Patrick O'Connor again for another year. Can you just talk about his growth and role as a nickel rusher for you guys?
For Pat, I'm going to tell you something in coaching, and we always say when we're evaluating it. If certain guys, if you let them in the building, you'll never get rid of them. And I mean that in the most positive way because Pat does everything right. You're talking about I got very few of my defensive linemen go to special teams meeting. So I lose Pat a lot for special teams meeting. Then it's not a position that we haven't asked him to play on defense here. He's kind of a jack of all trades, and he just does so many things for us and always ready to go. And I give him, my hat goes off because he's always been the ultimate team player. Okay, it's just where you need me, and what else can you ask for as a coach?
There's a couple guys you had last year in Nacho and Nassib who were kind of your juice guys, your energizer guys,
right,
that really played value in practice or on the sidelines,
right,
getting you guys ready to go and fired up. I know Vita became a team captain. He's not as loud or boisterous maybe as those players. Who's going to be that vocal energizer guy for you in camp and the sidelines, the game days, etc.?
Right. That'll be interesting as we go through it to see who assumes that role, because as we walked in and we saw Vita ascend to the captain level, and we'll see who, as it goes, who takes the pride of, hey, let's get us going. But a lot of the time your rah-rah guys are ultra confident. If you ain't really confident in what you're doing, and what you ain't really saying a whole lot. So as the people grow, and that'll separate itself, I believe.
Coach, you've had a lot of continuity in the coaching staff on the defensive side. How much does that help? Just most of you guys are going into your 5th season here with the Bucs.
It really helps as far as a lot of times the working relationships. A lot of times I've been on some staffs where they get destroyed before they even take the field. But with our staff, we've been together since 19, and then the addition of Coach Edwards. And go back, I worked with Coach Edwards first time in 2008, so I've been knowing him for years. And Todd worked with him prior, so it really a lot of continuity on our side of the ball. We share the same philosophy and ultimately the same goal, so that really helped when we agree to disagree, but when we come out, everybody's on the same page, and let's go get it.
What separates Coach Edwards? Your Coach Rodgers. What separates Coach Edwards from from his peers? Obviously, he's had a very long and successful career in the NFL and has gotten even head coaching consideration.
As far as an extremely knowledgeable guy and well-versed on the front end, the back end, you get some coaches really good at the front, some coaches really good at the back, but George is the ultimate coming up because he's really good on both aspects. He's coached multiple positions. He's coordinated. He's been around. You know, the thing, this is one of the toughest leagues to stay in, and look at the number of years he's coached and the people he coached. I think he coached the defensive MVP the last couple of years. So he is really, really an outstanding addition.
Kacy, your young D linemen, the guys from last year like Mike Green and Trevelyan, are any of them showing something, or if you carried a 60 lineman, they might be in the mix for that or something?
Both of those guys, we expect to make tremendous jump because both of them are ultra talented. They really are. Mike was a great find in a rookie weekend workout, and Will was just, we got him as a free agent, and the skill set that he has is kind of what you're looking for. So it'll be a big task for me to get those guys ready to play or give them a chance to compete for jobs because they are both very talented.
Do you sense any differences in Coach Bowles in year 2 here, Kacy, in terms of being more hands-on? He's got a full off season to deal with. Any changes you notice about his approach?
I first worked with Todd in 2005 in Dallas, and then we were together at Miami, then we were together at the Jets, then we came here, and he's the same guy he was then, and the same guy, he was a head coach at the Jets. He's the same guy every day. He is more just, he's excited at this time about every year as he was every year I've worked with him. That's the one thing about him. He's been the same guy since the day I met him, so it's really never really changes for him.
Kacy, Sunday was a horrible day for Shaq Barrett and his family and for everybody.
Right.
Just what can you say about how this coaching staff, this organization is going to try to throw their arms around that family?
Well, first of all, like, you know, that was really a tragedy, and the thing, our hearts goes out to Shaq and his family, and the thing, we want to give him as much as support as we can, because that's just something you don't have the words to express or whatever, and for what Shaq means to us as a player and as a person. The first thing about it, you know, he's a heck of a player. But matter of fact, I was talking to my mother last night, and they came to the Tennessee game, and Shaq was talking to him in the lobby, and she remembered that how nice he was and how nice he is and everything, and it just goes to show, you know, words just does not say what he means to us, and we're pulling for him. We know it's a tough time for him and his family right now.
Good.
Thank you. See you guys later.
Good to see you.